what's up? Welcome back to the channel. Just leaving the gym. You know, it was leg day. We went at 7 o'clock this morning. And, you know, it wasn't as rough as I thought it was going to be. Because last night, I didn't get home until like 1 a.m. I went with a couple of my friends to go see Oppenheimer in IMAX, which was actually a really good movie. It was really long and kind of slow in most parts, but it was really good. So if you want to see it, I'd suggest it. I think it was good. And there was some nudity in it, and it was kind of funny because the parts that there was nudity in was like completely unnecessary, so it made it really funny. And yeah, it was a good movie. But anyways, today at the gym, I listened to a Joe Rogan episode with Naval Ravikant, I think is his last name. I know his first name's Naval. And I've seen him in a couple different clips before, and I didn't really know what he did. But apparently he's like a tech investor, an entrepreneur, and stuff like that. But he had they talked about a lot of really good points. And it was really cool because when they're talking about stuff and the way that Naval thinks about things is, I can kind of relate to him, not as in-depth as he does maybe, but he kind of thinks around things to make certain things work that aren't supposed to work, and like comes up with a solution that you wouldn't think of unless you kind of took out of the box thinking, basically, is what I'm trying to say. Like, things that you wouldn't normally think about for solutions on certain problems unless you were like thinking way out there. And it's really cool. And I feel like I think that way sometimes. So that was kind of cool. But one of the things was like, this wasn't really in the area of what I'm talking about. It was just one of the more general things that kind of interested me. And they were talking about what the meaning of life was. And Naval was saying how, like, well, you can sit there and you can think about, like, what could be the meaning of life. Because there's really no one answer for the meaning of life. Like, you can think about what could be the meaning of life. And he gave the example of, like, God, or to be happy, or I don't know. He gave a bunch of different examples like that. But then he was like, but then if you think about it, what if there is no meaning to life? And what if that's the whole point of life, is that you're just here for no reason? And then when you start thinking about it that way, he's like, then you think about, you're just a single person on this planet with 8 billion other people in the solar system and there's like billions of other planets, and it's like, well, maybe there is no meaning. And that's really weird to think about too, because like, it's cool and it's weird at the same time, because then it's like, well, what's the point then? But then at the same time, it's like, you get to choose your meaning of life, which is really cool. So whatever you decide, you can make it whatever you want. And that's really cool, I think. And then he also said how, and they were talking about like kind of the current state of the culture and people arguing on Twitter and stuff, and they're talking about like white privilege, and Naval's like, well, people talk about privilege all the time, but then think about it this way: 85% of everyone who's ever lived on the world is dead. So you're in the 15% of people that are alive right now. Chances are you have 4 limbs and you can walk, and you're living in the first world. So talk about privilege then in that context. So who's really privileged? Everyone right now that is living is privileged, but then you can go into the different contents and stuff like that, and or not contents, groups and whatever you want to say. And then they were also talking about, like, which I talked about in yesterday's video, was who you wanted to be. And you want, like he said, the 3 things that everybody wants is they want to be rich, they want to be healthy, and they want to be happy. And you can teach yourself every one of those things. You can form yourself to become, and you're in complete control with that. And you just have to choose to do it and learn how to do it. And once you learn how to do it, then you have to actually do it. And then when you actually do it and you teach it, then you completely understand it, and that, like, formifies your position in that area, which I thought was really cool. And that goes, I was gonna try to do like a song line in every video every day, and I kind of forgot for the last couple days. I did that one Drake line where he's just talking about 40 mom always say, don't ask permission, just ask forgiveness. But this one has been in my head for a long time, like ever since I heard it. It's just like, it's so true, because, and the way that he says it, it's J. Cole. And if you haven't heard J. Cole, or you need to hear him, he's really good. He's one of my favorite, probably is my favorite rapper, favorite musician. And he says in his song Fire Squad, on his album, his very first album, or no, not his very first album, I'm wrong, on his, I don't know what number it is, but his Forest Hills Drive, Fire Squad, it's a good song, it's a really good album. And in that song, he talks about,
one day you have to decide who you gonna be, a scary nigga or a nigga that's gonna rule like me.
One day you're gonna have to decide who you gonna be, a scary or who gonna rule like me. So basically saying, and just the way that he says it is so catchy, and that's what I think stuck in my head. And then also the meaning behind it, because like, you get to decide your life. You're gonna have to decide the person that you become. It's all up to you. So like, every aspect of your life, well, not, maybe not every aspect, but you get to decide the person that you want to be. It's completely up to you. You can have any future that you want, basically. It's really cool. And yeah, and then he talks about how people who are trying to snatch the crown from him, which the crown, like, basically means, like, to be the best in the rap game or whatever, to be the best at certain things. Basically, the king are, what do you say? They're cowards, and deep down they're afraid to die. And, I mean, that's true, but everyone should be afraid to die. I don't know, we're getting really deep now, and I'm home. So I'm going to end the video here. Let me know what you think. Any comments, leave a comment. Share this video with a friend. I appreciate you if you make it this far. Thank you very much for watching. And join the Discord, link in description. And I'll see you in the next one.